but they don't have to pass federal laws. They can undermine the laws of the land or federal laws by weaponizing the state legislative body, and then taking these bills up all the way to the Supreme Court, which they've already stacked. There is no equivalence on the Democratic Party front. None. Holy, that is so crazy. Do you think Republicans are good legislators? The only thing they ever pass is tax cuts? First of all, you're the most wrong you've ever been. You can say that Republican agendas, as a matter of fact, align with the Democratic Party's agenda in terms of tax cuts and deregulation, because they're still operating in the interest of their corporate benefactors. And therefore, the Democrats don't actually launch any sort of serious fight against them. And so the deck is stacked against the Democrats. That I agree with. But if you think the Republicans are not good legislators, you have not been paying attention. Of course they are. Of course they are. Are you kidding me? They're victims of their own success. It's not just about directly utilizing the federal government or directly utilizing the legislative body at the federal level, Congress. They have completely sidestepped and effectively neutered Congress. Okay? They use the judiciary. They use the judicial branch. That's what they use. They use state legislators where they can take advantage of redistricting and gerrymandering for disproportional representation and pass ridiculous bills. And if there's any sort of judicial contest against said bills, they can take it all the way up to the Supreme Court, where, as you've also openly recognized, the Federalist Society has already stacked the deck with a supermajority of far-right Supreme Court justices that will undermine the rule of law, break the fucking institutions time and time again. I'm not saying they're playing fair, but if you think that they do not enact their agenda, you haven't been paying attention. There have been like 200 bills that passed in the state legislators against trans people when there's like fucking 40 trans athletes total. Okay? That's number one. Think about the, signature accomplishment of Biden in terms of gun control. What did that achieve? They are so successful that they basically turn around and, find new issues that aren't even real issues at all, and then legislate at the behest of these issues that aren't even real issues at all to put even further numbers on the board. It's like they're winning. They're winning by fucking 40 points in the fourth quarter, and they're still dunking. Okay, they're not even bringing out the second string. They're still going with their starting five, and they're just still pummeling. This is the way that the Republican Party operates. So to say that they are not successful in enacting their legislative agenda is just false. Republicans don't pass legislation. Now let me log into my VPN so I can look up Pornhub. Yeah. No, they don't have to pass federal laws aside from tax cuts, which is still, again, openly in their favor, and they are very successful at that. But they don't have to pass federal laws. They can undermine the laws of the land or federal laws by weaponizing the state legislative body, and then taking these bills up all the way to the Supreme Court, which they've already stacked. There is no equivalence on the Democratic Party front. None whatsoever. In terms of abortion restrictions, that was what the base wanted. That was at least a key part of the base. Really, really wanted that. Okay? And they gave it to them. Gun control. When is the last time we've had any sort of reasonable gun safety measures implemented? Biden will tout his electoral accomplishments with the shittiest fucking gun control bill. By that same standard, by that same metric, Donald Trump did just as much as Biden did in terms of gun control when he made bump stocks illegal. There was a period of moment where they were talking about red flag laws and instituting them. Last time any sort of serious gun control measure was passed was 1994, the assault weapons ban. And that's back. Bump stocks, which no one in their right mind uses when you can spend $200 on a tax stamp for an NFA weapon. I think the tax stamp is is more than that. Is it just $200? No shot. I feel like there would be significantly more automatic machine guns in circulation if it was only $200. I thought it was like $15,000. I think you're talking about a tax stamp for something different than that, right? The 200 is for suppressors. It is 200, but it does not cover full auto. Yeah, I thought the tax stamp was closer to. I thought that. Hold on, let's look it up. What chatters are talking about is I guess one barrier of entry to like purchasing automatic machine guns in this country is the incredibly expensive tax stamp that you need to get. And oh, you're talking about SBRs and silencers that have a $200 tax stamp. Yeah, SBRs are still semi-automatic. But automatic machine guns, if you want to get a fully automatic machine gun, it's still, you still need to get like, I think you need to go through additional checks. Usually it's just people that have like, usually people only get that if they have like a shooting range or whatever. You know what I mean? Even fully automatic weapons only need $200 tax stamp, but it has to have been manufactured before 1986. You have to be a licensed weapons dealer for full auto. That's why a YouTuber can get it. It's a loophole. NFA automatic weapons themselves are at least $15K just for the gun. All are grandfathered, so zero new supply. Yeah. Because it's like after 1986, it costs like a bunch of money to get a stamp for it or something. The tax stamp is still $200, but there's other things you need, like a specific firearms license. Others can have them if they're weapons dealers. Yeah. You can get a FFL without an actual shop and get automatic weapons. I feel like there are, my point is there's a lot of limitations, whereas a bump stock, you could just like, in this country, a bump stock automatically uses, a bump stock changes the semi-automatic weapon into basically an automatic weapon by simply using the force against it, okay? It uses the semi-automatic rifles, what's the term? Momentum, okay? It's inconsistent and it doesn't really matter. It uses recoil. Yes, thank you. It uses recoil to turn a semi-automatic weapon into an automatic weapon. Technically, you could take a semi-automatic weapon, and if you're like fast enough, you could almost recreate. You could almost recreate the same firing speed of an automatic rifle. Some people do that. Okay. Yeah, if you just go, if you tap it really quick, some people do that. You have to be really good at fingering. Anyway, the point is, this little thing that you can purchase, this bump stock that you can purchase, is like relatively affordable and easy to access, much easier to access than the many different hurdles and the lack of readily available arsenal in terms of like an automatic rifle. Okay, that's it. There are barriers placed in front of people to go and purchase an actual automatic rifle. As a gun pervert, you wouldn't use a bump stock because it's too inconsistent with the rate of fire and accuracy. Better bet would be a binary trigger where it shoots once and you pull, it shoots again when you let the trigger go. Yeah, bump stocks are not exactly like even the initiative taken against bump stocks after the Las Vegas shooting was kind of silly because like they're so inconsistent. And it's just like, I feel like it's like a YouTuber thing. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, look, see, I turned my AR-15 into an automatic weapon. But it is super easy. Not if accuracy is second to fire rate. Yeah. You can very easily obtain an illegally procured fully automatic gun in the US, but it's not as difficult as you are trying to make it seem. There are simply less fully automatic rifles in circulation in comparison to the readily available semi-automatic rifles that you can purchase with ease in certain fucking red states. And there's a reason for that. It is because of the many differences, or it's because of the many hurdles, no matter how small, placed in front of people that want to go out and purchase it. That's simply all I'm stating. And even then, the bump stock was like a gimme. You know, it was just an inconsequential part of the broader gun manufacturing interest. And even then, it's back now. They took it away for a little bit. It didn't matter. They even gave that back. Okay. most of the conversations surrounding guns in this country need to be interpreted from the lens of the profit motives of gun manufacturers. I think a lot of even leftists who like guns, who want to fuck their guns, forget that reality. That the reason why we interpret the law and have so many nonsensical fucking opinions, so many nonsensical legal opinions that are genuinely harmful to American society on the issue of guns stems from gun manufacturers and the fucking stranglehold that they have over the American judicial body and the American legislative body. The other reason, from a cultural perspective, is because Americans love commodities. Okay, they love commodities, and guns are a commodity that we fetishize. It is a cultural signifier. When you purchase a gun, you're part of a big club of other gun lovers and gun owners. And there is a, false interpretation of the Second Amendment associated with it. So now it's not only just a commodity, but it's also like there's a political association that you're engaging in. It's perfect. It's a perfect way to make Americans get on board with this thing as a political movement. It's very stupid overall. But the reality of the matter is guns are simply no different than a fucking Gucci bag. Except it's a Gucci bag if the Gucci bag's primary purpose was to end human life, okay? End organic, end sentience, end organic life. So it is very dangerous and therefore should be regulated. And yet we will never get that regulation for the reasons that I just mentioned. God damn, dude. Holy shit.